Hey, Hope Kids, it's Michelle here. I am missing you guys like crazy. The building's really quiet and I just miss seeing you every week at church. I am going to read the Sunday school story for this Sunday. I'm also gonna share with you some bulletins, some kid bulletins that you can do on Sunday during worship as Pastor Matt is preaching. You can dig into these bulletins just for you guys. You might be familiar with these. We have these out in the narthex every week for you guys to grab. They go along with the lesson that Pastor Matt reads and talks about. And these two will go with the Lazarus lesson that is for this Sunday. And that's also the lesson we would be talking about in Sunday school. This story is pretty great. It's sad, but it shows hope that Jesus is always with us and Jesus always loves us. And I think that's a great reminder for right now as we are facing some sadness and maybe some scary things, some unknowns that just with the weird things happening with staying home from school, doing school at home, being with your brothers and sisters all day long. So this story is a great reminder that Jesus is with us all the time and that he loves us and he cares for us. So here is the story Lazarus from the Spark Story Bible. If you have this at home, I encourage you to read along and check out the pictures with me. It is on page 440. All right, so Lazarus. 3 of Jesus's good friends included a man named Lazarus and his sisters, Mary and Martha. Jesus was on a long journey when he found out that Lazarus was dying. It took Jesus a few days to travel to see his sick friend. When Jesus arrived, he saw Lazarus' sister, Martha. She had some sad news. Jesus, Lazarus is dead, cried Martha. I wish you could have arrived earlier. You might have been able to save him. Jesus tried to comfort her. Martha, don't be sad. Lazarus will live again. Martha believed what Jesus said. Then Lazarus' other sister, Mary, came to greet Jesus. She wished Jesus had come sooner too. Jesus, if you had been here, Lazarus might still be alive, she wept. She also believed that Jesus could have healed her brother. Jesus was sad because Lazarus died too. He cried and cried. That's right, you heard that right. Jesus also cried. He was sad too. Jesus, Martha and Mary went to the tomb where Lazarus was buried. Jesus told some people standing there, take the stone away from the tomb. So here you have Jesus and the sisters Mary and Martha. They look very sad, including Jesus, whose good friend Lazarus had died. The people were surprised at what Jesus said. Martha reminded Jesus that Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. 4 days. They had already made his body ready for burial by wrapping it in special cloths. But Jesus knew what he was doing. He insisted that they open the tomb. When the heavy stone was rolled away, Jesus said, Lazarus, come out. The people were frightened and amazed when Lazarus came out of the tomb. Since his hands and feet were all wrapped up in the burial cloths, the people had come to help Lazarus. When the people saw Lazarus alive again, they laughed and they sang and they danced. Many people that day believed Jesus would bring new life to all people. some pretty good news that Jesus brings us new life. As we approach Easter, we're going to hear about that theme a little bit more. I'm excited. Also, too, as we approach spring, think about it. As the snow is melting and we see that brown grass, what is going to happen soon? That grass is going to turn green. Leaves are going to grow on the trees again. We're going to see flowers blooming. Every spring, which is when Easter always is, we get this new life in our world. How cool is that? Jesus promised us new life, and we get to see this kind of new life every year during the spring season as flowers bloom, as the grass turns green, as leaves turn on trees, grow on trees. So pretty cool. So as you guys see the snow melt away and spring start happening, think about Jesus and how Jesus is providing this new life for us outside, as he did for Lazarus, and as he will on the cross when Easter comes. I will be emailing these to your parents. I'm also hoping to get something on Facebook for those who may not be in my Sunday school email list. Have your parents print these out, and as you listen to the message or the sermon that Pastor Matt gives on Sunday during church, I encourage you to fill these out. This first one, so this one is the pre-reader. So those who love to color and maybe aren't the best at spelling yet or writing, this one is made for you. So on this first activity, you guys are going to color the flowers along the path and the birds in the sky. You're going to make it super colorful because spring is coming. I want to see spring on this first picture. Then in the middle, you have a picture of Jesus and one of the sisters who are sad. So you feel free to go ahead and color that picture as you listen to Pastor Matt as he talks about Lazarus. Then here, there's all these Band-Aids. On these Band-Aids, you are going to use them to write or to draw some things that make you feel better. So Lazarus got sick and he died. Jesus brought Lazarus back to life. When we're hurting or upset, Jesus can help us too. So maybe write some things or draw some things that make you feel better. Maybe your mom or your dad or grandparents. Maybe a Band-Aid. Someone please draw a Band-Aid inside a Band-Aid. That would be awesome because Band-Aids make us feel better. What else? Flowers or a hug always makes me feel better when I'm sad. Go ahead and fill that up. I'm excited to hear what you guys add to your bandages. Then finally on the back, you are supposed to circle all the pictures that belong to spring. So, all right, then we have the reader one. So for my older kids, first you are going to draw. I want to see you draw 40 leaves on this branch. In the middle, there are some Bible verses that you need to fill in the blank. So pull out your Bible. If you left your Bible in the Sunday school classroom, which I know many of you did, that's okay. Feel free to Google or use the internet and grab an adult to help you. And go ahead and search these Bible verses if you do not have a Bible at home. The words might vary. We talk about that in Sunday school a lot, how all the Bibles aren't exactly the same. But they're pretty close. You might have to do some solving there to try to figure out what exact word is missing. But go ahead and fill those out. On the bottom, it says, if someone I loved came back to life after death, I would blank. I want you to fill that in. Think about it. Talk to mom and dad about that. Talk to an adult about that. What would you do? Pretty cool, right? Yeah. Then I really wish we were all my 3rd through 5th graders who are in my classroom. One of my favorite things is to race you guys with the word finds and stuff like that. I wish we could race. Maybe I'll do it and I'll time myself. Maybe we can compare times later. Many churches decorate their worship space with fresh flowers. On Easter, we do that every year. They might show artwork of birds or lambs. We often have butterflies hanging down on Easter Sunday. Look around your worship space. Do you see any symbols of spring and new life? Draw them below. So, idea, Definitely look where Pastor Matt's preaching, see if you can see anything. But if you're at home, look out the window. That's your worship space for the day. So go ahead and look out the window and see if you see any new signs of spring. And then Christians also use a cross as a symbol. How many crosses are there in your worship space? Ooh, all right. For this one, go ahead and count. See how many you can see around Pastor Matt on Sunday. I'm not sure if they're going to be moving the camera at all for songs, but be sure to keep your eyes peeled on the worship service and see how many crosses you can count. Also, that's a fun thing to do when we're back in the building. I encourage you to do that one day while you're sitting in church. See how many crosses you can count in the sanctuary. There's a lot. There are some hidden ones too. So keep your eyes peeled and look for them. All right, so there is the reader version. I continue to say I want to see what you draw. Parents, if you guys could snap some pictures of your kids' finished bulletins, that would be awesome, and post them on this video below, please, so we can share this, see other kids' artwork, and connect in that way. So, I miss you all. I can't wait to see you when I get to see you again. I'm praying for you all. Enjoy this time with your family. Please do that. Enjoy this time with your brothers and sisters, your parents too, and enjoy some time outside. We've been getting some nice days, and spring is around the corner, so be looking for signs of spring as you are reminded about Jesus and the new life he brings us, as he did to Lazarus, and as he does to our beautiful outside every year. So, bye guys. I miss you.